This week, we sat down to talk about activity after a heart attack. I'm joined again by Asante's medical expert Beth Coker and Dr. Brian Gross. Thank you both so much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Gross, many of our patients come to cardiac rehab, and one of the questions they ask us is when they can resume sexual activity safely after a cardiac event. How do you answer that question?
Well, it's a very important point. When you have a heart attack, that's a very defining moment in your life. I mean, you came close to the brink. Nowadays, compared to many years ago, we're able to save the vast majority and return them to a very active life, maybe in sometimes even more active than they were before. But there's always this concern, on both sides of the bed, both the spouse and the victim himself or herself. And I would say that in the vast majority of people, they can return after a relatively brief period of time of a couple weeks to their usual activities, and they can do it very safely. There was recently a study that came out in Portland looking at a large number of people who had passed away suddenly, called sudden cardiac death. There were over 4,500, and of those, only 34 people out of the 4,500 had had sexual relations within the previous 1 hour. So a very, very small number. The vast majority of those were men.
Yes. Are there any situations where people are at high risk and they should exercise some caution?
Absolutely, and it's the same criteria that most people would use to go to a hospital emergency room. The same situation, either you in your rehab clinic or me in the office would see somebody and say, that doesn't sound good. This is a person who, wow, I'm getting short of breath with minimal activity. I'm getting this disagreeable sensation in my chest, neck, or arms every time I walk up the hill or carry something. Or I'm feeling these palpitations and I'm getting very, very dizzy. Those people should have that evaluated before they start sexual activity.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this.